Hi guys, this is Turner Max Adventures and we are off on another weekend trip. We're floating the river again, only not the current river this time. This time we're going a little bit closer in our home state of Arkansas to the Buffalo National River, and we're going to be camping at Buffalo Point Campground. Come along and we'll show you what we see. We had a 4-day weekend we were planning for, and we took you along whenever we were paddling and floating the current river up in Missouri. This one's a little closer to home. It's also a little lower. It's very much rainfall dependent, and we're on the lower section of the Buffalo River, and that's about the only section that's really floatable this time of year in August. So we worked through an outfitter. Wild Bill Outfitters, very much near the park here at Buffalo Point, and we floated from Spring Creek down to Dillard's Ferry, or the Highway 14 bridge. It was a nice short float. We thought we would just take our time and fish along the way. There was some traffic on the water, but it was really a slow, really peaceful float for us, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're in Venice on a gondola?
I would if you would sing.
If I would sing?
Yeah.
Oh, sole me.
Yes.
I have no idea.
No, that was it. Good job.
Oh wait, this looks too shallow, doesn't it? Think we can get through there?
I don't know, but you might ought to sit down.
Yeah, probably should. Probably should. So one of the cool places nearby, which actually from Buffalo Point you can float down further downstream, there's an old mining town, old ghost town named Rush. Rush was named after the zinc mining rush in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and it was really cool. They actually had a ranger-led program here where you can learn about the history, learn about how, the mining companies that were here. There's a trail where you can see some of the old mines and that kind of thing. Obviously they're gated off so that you can't get to them. There's some old buildings, a general store, some old homes, and it's just really interesting that in the early 1900s, maybe as many as 2,000 to 3,000 people lived in this little area, this little valley along the shores, very near the shores of the Buffalo National River. So other things to do while you're here at Buffalo Point, there's a trail called the Indian Rock House Trail. It's a 3.5 mile trail. We did not do it this time. It goes to a bluff shelter that's carved into the rock, where it's just an overhanging bluff shelter. So you can do that. Also, there's a really beautiful bluff here at Buffalo Point, where it's got a nice swimming hole down at the bottom of it. We definitely took advantage of that whenever we got back from our float trip, and just a really, really beautiful bluff. You can also drive up to the restaurant. So in season between Memorial Day and Labor Day, there's a restaurant overlooking the entire valley. It's up at the top of the bluff, and it's beautiful. You can drive up there. There's cabins up there as well, and they serve really good food. They have really good pie, by the way.
Yes.
So we just got home from Blanchard Springs, and I am making us some loaded barbecue baked potatoes. We have had a fun day, and we can't wait to tell you about it.
So because we had 4 days, we knew we were just going to float one of those days, and so we were looking for something else nearby that we could maybe go do, and we had already driven down to see Rush and those kinds of things, but there was one area that's about an hour away from us that I've been wanting to check out for a while. It's a national recreation area called Blanchard Springs. There is a caverns there, but since 2019 it's been closed due to COVID and some other things, and so we just wanted to go look at the area. We lucked out. We really got lucky. We noticed that the gate to the road up to the caverns was open. So we drove up there, again, just kind of checking it out, and there was a handful of cars in there. The caverns were open, and they had just opened the Thursday before, the Saturday we were here, and so they were almost begging people to come and join the tours. We got right in. We were there at like 11 o'clock, and they said, hurry, and you can join the 11 o'clock tour. Is really a nice cave tour. Probably one of the more beautiful caves that we've been in.
And it's so close to our house. I mean, I was so shocked.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, we've been to Mammoth Cave, which is beautiful. We've been to Carlsbad. We've been to some others. Wind Cave up in the Dakotas. This one was just different. It's a living cave, definitely. There's lots of water in there, and there's these big open rooms, and the way that they have it lit up. Where you can see all of the different formations is really, really good, really nice. They had, just some artifacts where you could go look at the exhibits and read about it. They do have bats in the cave. And
we saw bats flying.
We saw bats flying through the cave and saw evidence of bats, a lot of guano. But I can tell you, unlike Carlsbad, which has so many bats and it kind of smells of the bats, this place you couldn't tell, right? There was not any kind of an odor or anything like that. The trail we went on, or the tour we went on, was a little over half a mile. It took about an hour. You go several different places, stop. The guide will point out various formations and different aspects of the cave and that kind of thing. And like I said, just a really, really awesome time that we had and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we were so excited.
We really were. We really were. There's a movie to see as well that's there. And then that was just one part of the Blanchard Springs area. The spring, you can go up to the spring. The spring is actually part of the cave system. So what we were seeing in the cave with some of the water and everything was actually what was flowing out of the spring there at Blanchard Springs.
There's definitely a warning sign that says do not drink the water from the spring.
And if you'd been into the cave and saw the bats and saw what they had left behind, you would understand that even though this is spring water, it's not, even though it looks crystal clear and clean, probably has some bacteria in it from the bat droppings and all of that kind of stuff upstream. The other thing there at the spring is a little further down. The spring actually flows into what they call Mirror Lake. It's a lake that was dammed by the CCC, the Civil Conservation Corps, back in the 40s and 50s. And it's just a beautiful little lake. And you can go to the spillway and see the waterfall past it. And just past it, there was the remains of an old grist mill. And just really neat old stone structure where you can hike down to and kind of mess around and hike down there.
We've had so much fun this trip. Thanks so much for watching. Just remember to hit that like and subscribe button for us. It helps our channel, and we will catch you on the road for our next adventure, which is coming up this next month.
And don't forget, leave comments if you have questions or anything. We'd love hearing from you guys. If you have comments, we'll do our very best to answer all the comments that you guys leave for us. So
whether
thank
it's
you.
about the Max or about our adventures or
exactly.
a specific place.